All right, we're about to go on a 4-hour ride on Niner's only titanium bike. Did you know they made a titanium bike? They didn't either. And let's see, we've got some decorations on it. We got some IV tape. Family member was at the hospital and had an IV, so I grabbed that. That's brilliant engineering right there. We're gonna test that out. And then the batteries for the camera down here. And then we've got the incredible Kai Blankner on his Vaast frame, which could crack at any second. And also, if it gets exposed to flame, it could catch fire, and the fire department will not be able to put the fire out. And he's stolen my power meter pedals. So all the power on my bike computer is going to be his. So I'm sorry about the very low power, guys, I'm going to have today.
He's going to set a lot of PRs today.
And then we were going to do like 3.5 hours, but Kai's already chickening out. He's saying he's not going to be able to handle it. So let's load up and get going. All right, let's see if we got the camera set up here. Apparently I like to do every ride like I'm riding to the freaking moon, and it's all testing gear and such for do something really long, and 2 hours of fuel, 4 hours of camera battery, and water. I've got 2 liters of water on my back. And although we do go way out and you never know what's going to happen. And let's see, squirt chain lube, rear radar. I got several patch kits, and I've got a 50 millimeter tire on order to match the 50 on the front. So right now the rear is a 42, and Kai is swinging by his place to go pick up some headphones, and I'm going to meet him there. I'm trying to figure out what other crazy crap I got going on here. To keep this bike computer mount from going sideways, I put 2 pieces of plastic right here and duct taped it. And then now it should stay centered and quit falling off. And the Redshift suspension stem. And there was something else. Oh yeah, so the bottle cage right here is a strap-on bottle cage. You can see the Velcro strap right there. And then with zip ties to hold it in place. It's hard to see because they're black, which is a trick to do. And I think that's it. And extra sodium and gummy bears all in here, and a pair of sunglasses for when it gets brighter outside. It's a little bit dim out here right now. So let's get going. Actually, I can hop on right now. And I think my bike computer already tried to pair with the pedals on my pedals on Kai's bike. And so I'm going powerless today. And yeah, and the front brake's new, so it squeaks at first. Oh yeah, and the pedal pads are still embedding in and wearing down a little bit, but we'll be right back. All right, have a little cut through. I feel like I've forgotten something major. And it might rain today, which will keep it nice and overcast. So that'll be fun. And, oh, we're going this way. Okay. Oh yeah, usually these gates are down, but it seems like a drunk parent hit the whatever here, bringing their kids to school. Oh, there's it. Hey, Kai's all into wearing his headphones wired, so he can be like Lachlan Morton. It's totally ridiculous. All right, now we'll be back when we hit the trails, hopefully. Haha. Dude, he's already faster. Guy's back on his game. Pick up some money. Just kidding, I don't have any money. Oh, I got ahead. Look at that. Old age and treachery every time. All right, two things. It's funny. My bike computer's picking up his power, so I know how much power he's putting out, which is kind of funny. And then these come in like 3 feet, maybe, strips, and they're really grippy, and they're used to wrap around your arm and then to start an IV. So it makes your veins pop out. And I just self-wrapped them, so there's no tape holding them on. I just started it and then tucked it under here. But they are grippy, man, and they got wet. That is really interesting. And then I think when they get dirty and whatever, I can just throw them out. I think that's our old Scoutmaster. And put on some new ones, and then under this are the Livestrong style bands, the Gay Pride Ride ones that we used, or we got from doing that ride. And so I've got all kinds of tape and resources in case something, if I need to start a tourniquet on somebody, right? And also, we need to keep an eye on Kai's frame. We need to inspect it regularly for cracks. So that'll be fun. It doesn't give you anxiety at all. That the frame could explode.
Shatter like Lego
It could,
bricks.
yeah, it could shatter at any time, and it could catch fire and explode at any time. Okay, we're about to drop into Lit Creek Park, and Kai said he's running a 47 Victoria Dry. It's the same tire I think I run on the rear of my Nishiki. And I actually have a subversive plot. He took like a month off from training. And I want him to go the whole route with me. So I'm going to try to go a little bit slow, to slow him down a little bit so he doesn't blow up, so he'll go the whole way. But we'll see, because we're already going way faster than I normally would. Foot out, a little bit of drifting, which is the funnest part of grounding. Oh my, what is going on up here? Got some loose crap right here, so the suspension stem and the Kai's got a really loud hub, which is nice on trails. To let people know you're coming. My hub's pretty quiet. What I've done on my tri-bike before is put a bell, one of those nog ring, or whatever they are, they're ring shaped, and put it right about here or here. And it's a perfect fit. Oh no, somebody's showing off. Yeah, if I slow him down purposely, he'll actually have more energy. That was so smooth. So I videotaped the ride, and I didn't like the audio because my suspension stem was squeaking. And I had to go in and tighten up everything. There's a special tool. You have to take the faceplate of the stem off. You know, tilt the handlebars up, all kinds of crazy stuff. But it was worth it. real loose. I'm gonna let him gap me a little bit more, because if I stay right on his ass, then he'll keep going fast. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, Ty knows about that. That corner right there is really rough and really loose. So it's fun to practice some grass right there. Y'all can't hear it, but on my headphones, I'm listening to LoFi Chillhop. Drift wide to maintain speed. Single speed tactics there. But anyway, LoFi Chillhop has this really nice, it's motivational because it's positive sounding, but there's no lyrics, so you can kind of think. It's really hard to think when you're listening to music that has lyrics because they're putting words in your head. I've noticed years ago. The little trick I just did is when I crossed over on that really rough middle stuff, I unweighted the bike a little bit. That keeps you from getting flats as often when you cross rough stuff. Because right before it, you push down, and then as you hit it, kind of lift up a little bit, like that. And then your whole bike, and you probably weighs a total like 20 pounds. Enough to keep traction, but not enough to push a rock or something sharp through your tire. And let's see if we got some sand right here. Right there. Yep, a little sand. Kept the weight on the rear tire so the front tire would float over it. I'm carrying way more gear and water than Kai, so I'm not, look at him go. I'm not surprised he's up behind me. I was so mad when they graveled with this crushed brick crap. This trail, because it was single track. But 15 years later, I enjoy the crap out of it because it's great for gravel biking. And who would have known, you know? That's why you never judge too soon. Things are always changing. There's a Zen story about the guy who's, everything kept changing. It would be changed for the worse. He'd be like, well, you never know. And then it would change for the better. And people are like, oh, everything's so much better. And then he was like, well, you never know. It changed for the worse. It was just really nice not to hold on to how things should be, because you just don't know. So on Kai's first ride back, after taking like a month off or more, he was, or I should say I was way faster than he was, which he was not a fan of. He ran out of aerobic power, but I think like 3 rides later, he was starting to drop me already. All right, we're out of Lick Creek Park. We're gonna go down to Old Barker Ranch Road and the Navasota River. And we'll be right back. Looks for water moccasins and gators. Hey, do you know how I know you're slow? The skewer on your fork is pointed up into the wind. That's like a watt.
It's a watt to slow me down.
Yeah.
So that I can be with you and watch over you.
You got to make sure your dad's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't die. You don't find him sitting on a toilet at the flea market like that one time at the jockey lot.
Are we turning left or going straight?
Straight.
I don't want me to go straight and you go left.
I found a bunch of loose change right here one time, like a week ago. And my tire was going flat. And I thought I would use that change to pump up my tire at the Milliken gas station.
Chains?
Yeah, a bunch of chains on the ground.
How are you going to air up your tire with
Had
that?
an air pump thing that you put money in.
Oh, chains.
Yeah.
You said chains.
Anyway,
Like money.
I got to Milliken and there's no air thing there yet. So I'm glad I patched my tire and used the CO2. I plugged it. That was on the Nishiki. It was the 2.4 mountain bike tire, and it's starting to wear down, which makes it awesome on pavement and gravel. It's supple and smooth. Whoa, dude, did you see that? We don't take kindly to you type of cyclists around here. I think that was a big old owl.
You're a loft, boy.
That's why we gravel and mountain bike. Where we mountain bike, I know there's mountain lions. Oh, look at the doggy. A bulldog of sorts. My legs are a little sore. So Kai's gonna outclimb me every climb. Because I weigh more and I got Aerobars, I can catch him and sometimes pass him on the downhills. So if you're in that situation, if you're heavier like me, or carrying a ton of gear, you let people outclimb you. I learned this in Ironman training. You stay within your limits on the climb, and over the period of a couple hours, you'll actually be climbing faster than those people that wore themselves out. So my extra weight and being Aero and bigger tires, actually. I got a 50 on the front and a little bit of front suspension there. Easily catch back up. I can coast while he's pedaling. It's a really cool trick. That wasn't much of a hill to demo it on, but y'all smell what I'm stepping in. Gnaw me. We'll see if the pit bull is up here. I got a lot of questions about dog attacks lately because I've made so many videos of them chasing me. And we'll talk for a second about if you're riding in a group of a few people, spread out. And then that way when you're dodging stuff, you're less likely to hit each other. You know, if you're in a tight group, Everybody's basically, I remember hearing this from a pilot that was a dogfight, like a fighter pilot. When you come under attack by the enemy, everybody goes crazy different directions, and then the enemy is like, where'd I go? And then you got to jump on them, you know? But if you're in too tight of a formation, when you start splitting off of each other, you could actually get in each other's jet wash, tap wings, and then crash. All right, we'll be back. All right, we're about to drop down in the Navasota River. There's another funny technique. It's just you or maybe a couple of people and you're spaced out. When a dog comes at you, like say he's coming from over there, you actually like turn and swerve at the dog. And it's comical how like the dog, and you yell at the same time. It's like, what? And puts on its brakes. And then that gives you a jump on it. And then one time, and I think if you know there's bad dogs in an area, you spread out like this and you let one dog start chasing one person. The leader, like, is your fastest, most capable person. And they get tired chasing them, and by the time you get up there, they're kind of worn out and nowhere near as fast. So I've got video somewhere, Instagram or YouTube or something, where I'm riding with Kai. He's being chased by like 9 dogs, and they're big and scary. It's pretty funny. Cyclocross. And I'm not this far back, but close. And you just see all the dogs like chasing them, and I'm just laughing. And by the time they gave up and I go by, they gave me kind of like a half chase. It ended up being a really popular video. We were just east of San Marcos. Oh, there's a guy fishing down by the river. We'll leave him alone. Usually I go down and talk to him, but they're also fishing, you know. They're down here to be left alone. So that was nice. I'm riding a WTV Venture on the front, which is a 50 mil, which I found for me and my weight is the breaking point, 50 millimeters of floating over slush like this, or sand somewhat. It'd have to be really deep sand to sink me in. And so I can't wait to get a 50 on the rear. The front matters more because the rear tire will just follow, but I think it'll be here in a couple days. So right now I'm just running a 42. That was off my similar bike. That's the biggest you can run on the back of those. And Kai's blinky light's already dead. Hey, your red blinky light's dead, just so you know. That way you don't get into traffic, assuming that you got a red blinky light. It was the first batch of Vaast frames that has this cracking problem. They're going to do a recall pretty soon. And it's a shame because magnesium, that's the only ones that had that problem. And it's so light. It's such great ride quality. All right, we'll be back. We'll see if that pit bull is up here. Okay, lately he likes to hang up here. And see how it's an uphill? So it slows you down. In this car, for example, he could get himself hit. Or us get hit trying to dodge him. And honestly, I should be quiet right now. It's a really good tactic to not let dogs know you're here. You don't coast and you don't talk. And you make your shifts real quiet. There's his little trail right there. And he hangs out in this driveway right here. So I think it's theirs. But I've seen him as far as up here a little bit. But it looks like we've avoided him there. Nice. Tell we're in a swampy area. There's Spanish moss hanging from the trees. All right, we'll be back. That's a lot of confidence riding no hands into a three-way yield intersection. He's trying to adjust headphones. Hey, you should try this new thing called wireless headphones.
I didn't set it up right.
Oh. When we're checking out this house, you can fix it. Okay, we're coming up on it. So it's the barn that used to go with the house over here. But imagine on this is a major cycling route. Setting it up, you're turning. Setting it up is like a bike cabin lounge resource station. It's on 2 acres. Metal roof sounds cool in the rain. And then this little carport. And you could set up like plastic lounge chairs for cyclists to come. It's got a little front yard for a dog and a fire pit. And then there's a bathroom right there. And then that door has like a storeroom in it. I guess you put bike parts and stuff like that in there. And then that goes to the second part of the house. And then the inside's all hardwood, not hardwood, but it might be hardwood, but. And then, yeah. And then it goes, this is all part of the land. Y'all start donating and we'll buy this and turn it. And look, it's a big shed because that's where they put the tractors and stuff to mow. Because this used to be 5 acres. I looked it up on the land and I think they've split it where that tree line is right there. And isn't this cool?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, it's not like fancy nice, but it's super functional. And it's way out in the countryside. And I think it belongs to those people in that house. They built that fancy house and then now they're selling this. They turned this into a barn dominium of sorts. And then there's a second shed over there for more like equipment. But wouldn't it be cool to like set this up as like a bike route? Like lounge, you'd have water and fuel and like plastic chairs and hose downs and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is all fenced in for dogs right here in a dog door right there. And yeah, and a fake water hydrant for your dogs to pee on. Like, it's really cool. They've really done a nice job.
I like the garage in the back.
That's a sign that there was no internet out here at all for a long time. That's a point-to-point wireless tower to try to get internet. There may be Well, probably not now. I guess you would get like one of those Skylink satellite internet things. But imagine getting up in the morning and going for a walk or a ride down to the Navasota River.
Yeah.
And getting your nature in the morning and all this. So.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
How much is it?
Like 400,000 maybe 350 or something.
On 2 acres?
Because there's, I think it's on septic system, so there's no like water. It might be on a well. You know, there might not be water running out here, so it might be on a well septic system, which makes it cheaper. Because people want that. They want, you know, real water coming from the city. And then maybe no internet. The easy way, you know. And you can tell, look, the driveway used to go to there. And they just paved this, I think, to sell it. They subdivided the property. I approve too. I think it's freaking cool. And to go get on Highway 6 and to go into town, it's just a straight shot. And also because, you know, the big concern is it floods out here.
It's up high.
It's up high enough, and then you can get on Peach Creek Cutoff right here and not be caught between the two low spots.
Yeah, because it would flood after Peach Creek Cutoff.
Yeah, it floods back behind us, and it floods way down in front of us next to Highway 6. But Peach Creek Cutoff comes in between. Okay, we're on Lone Star Road, which if we moved into that house back there, this is just a 3-minute walk, and then you could be on this gravel road for a nice little walk, evening walk. I think it's a mile long one time I measured it. So what we're going to do is inspect Kai's frame after every ride for cracks. I found mine after washing the bike. And I saw something where the cracks come from when they welded the first batch. When they welded the tubes together, the welds are fine. But the metal near the welds, it's like within the first couple of inches, and that's exactly what happened to mine. That heats up a little bit too much, and it weakens it. But every frame after like 2021 is supposedly fine. It's just these first ones. It's really hard to find a Vaast right now. I'm not really worried about people buying more of them. But their parent company that owns them also owns Niner. It's a big conglomerate. United Wheels, I think. It's softer over there. Oh. And they also own Huffy, and I think a bike brand called Batch or something, and Buzz. So like 5 or 6 bike brands. That little rock I hit back there reminds me, I need to get more Silca super sealant. I'm about out. Well, the only reason I've run out of it, because the stuff's so great, it lasts forever, is take a wheel in to get the spoke fixed. And they don't understand, like when I take a tire off and it's like expensive sealant or a special concoction. A lot of people do blends of sealants. A lot of pros do that. They really know what they're doing. They like the properties of two different sealants, so they'll combine them. But anyway, you pour it, or you use the injector thing to draw it out of the tube, out of the tire, once you get the tire off, and save it, and then put it back in. I do a U-turn right here. It's easier. And bike shop is just like, yeah, we put orange seal in. After that, I'm like, well, you don't want to complain because then you sound like an a-hole. So yeah, I need to get more Silca. I'm almost out. I got enough left for one more tire, and when we put the new tire on here, on the rear, probably gonna use it in that. Kai's at the REI shop, and they got the Silca chain waxer. So you can do the super chain waxing. If you want to take it there and go do that, it's pretty cool. The REI in College Station. The summers here are so freaking hot. It's almost insane to ride in it. And just the temperature drop of like 5 degrees, 10 degrees, and overcast. Now that we're getting in the fall a little bit, it just makes all the difference. Cut this tight. I learned how to take corners better on bikes and in cars by reading the James Bond book. It might have been Icebreaker, Ian Fleming. Let's talk about he was trying to get away, had a car chase, and you cut the apex tight. You come in wide and then cut it narrow, and then exit wide again, and start putting power down as you're exiting. You don't wait until you exit. Start putting power down as you're exiting. And it really works. Putting a little bit of power down gives you control. And it gets you in gear preemptively, so that it gets you in the right gear preemptively. So then when you're really ready to put power down because you fully exited the turn, you're already in the right gear, pretty much right RPM, really close. So my parents had an older James Bond book from the 1960s, and it said that he was going to swim underwater, or swim across a bay to infiltrate a spy secret, headquarters. And he practiced by swimming. And then before and after every swim, he would smoke a cigarette, unfiltered cigarette, to open up his lungs. Which I found really funny, because we know that that is not good for you. That does not work. It might open up your lungs if you're already a smoker, but you shouldn't be smoking. But it was the 60s. It's kind of funny. Yeah, we're exiting the Lone Star Road. Out onto the pavement. Let's go. Next stop, Milliken. Here's the Peach Creek Community Center. So if we moved down here, this would be City Hall, Municipal Court, Mayor's office. Become the mayor of Peach Creek.
Drop off the chicken.
Yeah. There's a chicken exchange program. Mom would all be in charge of that. So last week or the week before, I had a flat tire, a slow flat, and then I went over here and changed it. And I've got it all on video, but it's like super humid and sweaty cam. But I plugged the front. Probably had a piece of glass or something in it. We're about to go under Highway 6. And Kai's gonna outclimb the crap out of me. I used to hold the KOM on this going the other way. It goes uphill the other way. It's like a big, like that. But you had to have giant balls to come downhill, high speed, to because you're praying that these cars across are going to stop. You what? Glass. You're going to outclimb the crap out of me on this thing.
Why?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll do your tiny takes. You don't baby takes.
Okay. I'm going to stay behind you only because I have the red blinky light to protect you. Got rain coming this afternoon at 1. But it'll take the edge off the heat with the overcast. And yeah, with that flat tire, it was interesting. It was good practice, you know. You hardly ever get flat tires nowadays with tubeless. And if you don't do something on the regular, it's something I talk about at work, is if you do something only every once in a while, you need to document it. If you do something all the time, you document it or not, you know. But if it's like starting to be like more than a month or two, or like a year or 2 years or 3 years, you document how you did it. Holy crap. And then, like, there's a software contract I got to renew every 3 years. And so I'm documenting how I do it. Because, dude, after 3 years, it's like, what was the process again? And, you know, processes change, but at least it gives you a starting point. Instead of procrastinating because you don't know how, you can kind of look into it and get started. But then also you have employee turnover. You know, you got somebody new. You can go, oh, you do it like this. Because the old person that knew how to do it has been gone for a little while. And now nobody knows how to do it. All right, I'm going to get off the mic. Camera. We'll be back at the gas station. Oh, it's interesting is going from single speed to geared. This seems so easy. And then, so I can't wait to race and probably race on geared, keep training on single speed frequently, not all the time. Like on the harder days, do single speed. Easy days, do geared. And then The Aerobars remind me something about the SR-71 Blackbird, is the way the engines are set up. They become more efficient the faster they go. Because they ram more air in. Turns it more into a scramjet type engine, ramjet. And Aerobars are kind of similar. It's the faster you go, the more effective they become, because the air pressure that you're going into, the wind resistance, is so much higher the faster you do it. We're gonna go straight. We're gonna pull up at the gas station.
Pull up.
Fill up? No, pull up.
Pull
And get water. And get water. Something smells like poop.
Nobody's on them because we're all on the interstate. This is a single lane. Cars have to be in your lane to get by.
There we go. Oh, it's not showing the red light anymore when I record. That's weird. It should be red right there. Anyway.
Nope.
We got a Mercedes Maybach out here. We're at a country gas station. It's just so funny because of Texas oil money and ranch money. You just never know what you're going to get into. You got a Maybach, and then right down here is probably the pride and joy of another ranch, which is the 4-person pickup truck bed off-road quad thing with, look at all those lights and stuff. Check out all the lights on that thing, dude. That's pretty cool. Probably drove like a mile on the highway to get down here on that thing. All right, we're gonna cross over right here. Get a little gravel in. Kai's gonna do this last little Milliken loop with me and head back. And then I'm gonna head out into the wasteland. We got time to cross over. We always think that thing's a snake. It's like an old piece of tire tread. Car coming up behind us, car ahead. Staying far over to the right because we got a car behind us. Want to give them space just in case. Oh, he was turning in that house over there. Yeah, I'm going to do a longer ride this morning instead of a shorter because it's overcast and a little bit cooler. Great time to get in volume. We're going down Henderson Road. These long dead-end roads, if they're short, yeah, you know, it's not worth it. But there's a certain distance where they become worth it for two reasons. One, cars don't go down dead-end roads as much, so it's a lot safer. And then, remember when I first started doing this, road bikes and everything, you know, paved, it's annoying to have to turn around, but actually, it's a really good opportunity to practice bike handling skills, to do a tight U-turn. And then also re-accelerating. I got something a little loose. Figure out what that is. Re-accelerating, getting back up to speed is like a little miniature interval, which is good practice for when you're trying to catch back up with a group or something. Putting down those minute or two bursts of power. So it's making lemonades out of lemon, and turns out I'm so glad that I got over that and started riding these roads. They're dead ends. And also, for gravel, there's more wildlife down at the ends of these things. So you see cooler animals and stuff. Another reason that Kai wanted to cut it short was he said he's biking again tomorrow morning. I'm going to run tomorrow morning probably with the cooler temp. And by cooler, I mean it's still in the 80s. But I think it's going to rain a little bit tomorrow morning. And that'll make for really nice running when it's hotter. It's nice to run in the rain. I'm so happy with the color of this bike. Originally, they were supposed to send me the bike that's all baby blue, the whole frame, the fort, this color. And I would still love to have that bike. That's really freaking cool. Real pretty. And stands out in traffic, which is a big deal. But titanium gray and light blue is a really nice color combination. Because I think the gray kind of has a little bit of blue in it. Anyway, very faint tone of it. Like blue steel, kind of. Gunmetal has a little hint of blue in it. And the black fork with it makes it really nice.
That car came all the way down here.
It's what?
That car came all the way down here.
Yeah. Oh, I talked to him one time when he was going in his gate. He was like really cool. I was surprised how cool he was. Because like I apologized for being in his way, and he was like, "Oh no, man, come on, that's cool." Like that. And I was like, "All right." He wasn't mad that there were cyclists at the end of the road. And then the way I'm color toned and the way I grew up, or my predisposition is I like wearing blue. Blue is like a good color on me. I got blue eyes, I guess, so that helps, you know. So blue, turns out I have a bunch of blue stuff. And it's easy to find blue stuff to go with bikes. Hold it. I already had blue bottle cages laying around. And light blue kind of reminds me of pink, where it really stands out, which is a nice safety thing. So the kit I'm wearing right now is blue. The socks I'm wearing have some blue in them. The shoes are kind of like a grayish blue. As opposed to having like a neon green bike. Okay, it's awesome, but it just doesn't go with me. So you can tell, like, if you haven't seen something in a while, and then you see it for the first time, you're like, whoa, that's pretty good. Like, if you're proofreading a paper, you know, you want to step away for a day, come back, or an email, and you get a real honest impression of it. It's like, if I haven't, seen my bike in a while, I'll be like, that's a good looking bike, dude. Car up. Got a little bit of a headwind, so I'm going to stay in the Aerobar as long as I can. Except, we got traffic. There's a big thing with bikes. People ask, what bike should I get? And when you've narrowed it down to, in general, like 2 or 3 bikes, get the one that you think looks the coolest, because that's the one you're going to ride the most. And honestly, that's the whole point. And it keeps you motivated to be out riding, because you feel good, because you think you look good. And this frame's supposed to come with a silver fork with some blue trim. And that would have been okay. But titanium bikes have, you can't get titanium forks. They're pretty rare because titanium doesn't make the best fork material. It's like too flexy. So a lot of titanium bikes have black carbon frame or forks, and so that makes this bike look even more titanium, which is a really cool look. Love it. Smooth over here. The single speed versus gravel is so interesting, where single speed's harder when you're climbing, but then it's easier when you're going downhill because you run out of gear, so you have to coast a whole lot more. So it's kind of a mixed bag. It really does improve your climbing ability, because it's crazy. You're just like, I got another gear? I got another gear? When you're back on a geared bike. Woo! Okay, we've got a drift. Drifting tips. You want to weight your balance between the front and rear wheel so they're kind of even. Drifting on gravel. And so you're even in between, and then you're even back and forth. And then when the tire starts to break loose, it slides sideways evenly. Because if the rear slides out faster, then you'll turn sideways and high side. If you're on a motorcycle, that'll take your leg off. If the front slides out, whole bike shoots out from underneath you, and then you slam down, slam your head. Well, hopefully the rest of my bike ride will be awesome because of this overcast.
Yeah.
This is great.
Going down Ohio State.
Yeah. And then my new tire is supposed to show up sometime this week. It's coming by snail mail, so it's going to be a little bit. Maybe like Monday or Tuesday.
Just get one?
Yeah, because the front, I'm going to wait till it wears down more. It's just now getting smoother. Okay, I'll see you later?
Yeah.
All right, later. Bye. Okay. So that whole town grid over here to my left is all gravel. It's so cool. And this is a train depot that loads up fertilizer and stuff like that. Maybe grain and cotton, maybe. But I like riding through it. One, for the fun, because I feel like the kids on dirt bikes and ET, like how I grew up on Kuwaharas and stuff. And then any amount of time I can not be on that highway with 70 mile an hour and no shoulder is going to extend my lifespan. From Milliken back towards College Station, it's pretty dangerous. From here on, it's not that bad, but still, it's not ideal. In places, there's a little bit of a shoulder. This is fun right here, too. I mean, this is loose. It's behind me. No cars coming. Yeah, so if I'm lucky, if there's a car coming and I'm going and there's a car coming up behind me, I got this tiny little strip up to the right. Sometimes, not even the whole way. Especially on the way back, it's almost non-existent. But then on a gravel bike, what's so cool, if I was on a road bike, I would not go over there. That sucks. You get a flat. Back when I was riding 25mm tires. On a gravel bike, I can get way over because I'm way less likely to get a flat. All right, we'll be back when we cross over.